There we go. All right, just so that if you forget something and you want to go back, you can watch it later. All right, so thank you for agreeing to do some revisions for our curriculum. In terms of the pay, that's how many hours they're willing to pay for. So I don't want you to work more than that, than what is listed on the sheets that I sent you. So basically kind of plan out per unit. This is how much time I have and do what you can in that time. And it is what it is. Because I know some of them have a little bit more work than others, but let me kind of give you some general instructions, and then I'm here in the summer, so I can answer questions as well. So let me. Where is the? All right, so this is where the Fort Worth ISD curriculum is housed. And I added you to this, so you'll have to see if you can, if you're able to edit within there. Because if you can't, then we'll have to see about adding you to that, I think, and make sure it's done correctly. But anyway, so there is a visual arts part, and then divided by grade level. I haven't seen that. Hold on. So if you go to visual and performing arts, here we go. If you scroll down here, it has it divided by like levels. And so for example, if you go to middle school, they want us to have a scope and sequence here, and then our instructional calendar, and Wendy's going to be working on those and uploading those. And then from this unit is how people, or from this scope and sequence is how people then get to the other units within. So all the units are stored on SharePoint, and we have let's see if I can go back further. We have a SharePoint for visual arts that I tried to add you to. So again, you'll have to let me know. I go back to where it just says the different ones. But if you're once you're in the visual arts, you go to department documents, and then it's arranged by level. So if we look at middle school, you go to Art 1. All of your, let's see, did they put updates in this one? I'm not sure. I think it's been like 2 years since we've done anything with it. So to see what is in there, but how they want you. So they want you to do all of your uploading and adding resources to the SharePoint so that we don't lose it ever. So everything that we put in SharePoint has to be linked to SharePoint. So one of the things I'd like you to do is link Art of Education, lessons and resources. So you'll have to download those and add them to SharePoint and then link them in the documents. I did make a folder in the visual arts department curriculum, and I added you to that. And it's a 2023-24 curriculum writing. And all of the documents and resources are in there. And let's see, deadlines for posting. They want those first 6 weeks posted by July 21st. And then, you can see the rest. And then there's also a project management where you update where you are on it. Well, I don't know that it saved my, hold on. Might not have, I put all the things in there. Maybe it's here. No, that's a calendar template. Thought I did edits, but I guess it didn't save. So I'll work on that one so that it has all your names and stuff in there. But on that document, it also has like when things are due. And oh no, I have them down here. Yeah, I just have to delete the band and stuff from up here. Okay, so basically each of the level/course you're working on, the overall status, on track, slightly off track, far off track, complete, not yet started, and then what's been done, and it has like the deadlines posted on here as well, so that you know kind of where you are on that. So the unit guides, they want them all to be, and there's some of them, like we already have unit guides for. Others, they were never updated to this one. When we had most of everything rewritten in 2020, they didn't have this template yet. And so not everything has been switched over to these templates. If the stuff is not in SharePoint, the other place it'll be is within the visual arts department curriculum folder. We also have, it's like what we did, a couple of years ago. There's the units and lessons within here, so that you have additional resources there if they're not on the SharePoint. In terms of how to actually upload, because it's a little bit tricky, I made some notes. So uploading/editing instructions. And it's been a little while since I've done this, so it's if there's issues, let me know. But basically, when you're opening these SharePoint, so let's go into elementary, and in a second grade, we had kind of did some updates there. So say you're working in the scope and sequence, you're going to open it within the SharePoint Word. Oh, this is not the new one. Hold on. Okay, so some of them will have like 2021 updates. So you're going to open it in the Word version. And these units are already linked to the previous edit. So if it hasn't been updated to this version, then the units aren't linked yet. And so that will have to be added. And so if you're doing it in Word, then how you save that. So like today, like I put it in this AOEU optional lessons. So I'd like those added, actually, the scope and sequence, and then also within the resources part. So this is what the unit guide looks like. And there's a spot for resources where you can add, I don't know why these words are messed up. So if that's there, you'll have to edit those. But basically, if you make edits in here, you are going to download a PDF. So you're going to do save as, you're going to download as a PDF. And the advantage of that then is when you go back to your SharePoint and you want to replace the one that's linked to the Fort Worth ISD curriculum site, it has the same name. And so it doesn't mess up all your links. So then I can upload, and I'm going to just downloads, where it downloaded it to. Maybe I didn't download it. Obviously, it's been a little while since I was doing this. Okay, it did download, but where? Yeah, it's right there. Okay, so then when you're in SharePoint and you upload files, okay, yeah, second grade. And you want to make sure, like, if you've already downloaded it once, it'll make a 1 and you don't want that. You want to have the one that's the same name as the other one, and you press open. And it's going to ask you if you want to replace or keep both. You just want to replace. And so that way, if you've since it's already linked to the Fort Worth ISD like curriculum page, it'll stay linked to that curriculum page. And you'll want to go back and check and make sure it still did, but
Bless you.
that's kind of the workaround. Yeah, Wendy, did you have something to add?
No, Sydney sneezed, sorry.
Let's see. So yeah, so the biggest thing is want some kind of disclaimer that says that teachers don't have to follow this exactly. They do want the dates changed. And then it's just kind of editing what you can. I know like Art 1 does not have any sculpture in it, and we really should have some sculpture if you want to add a unit for that. Middle school, I think it's divided by
Mediums.
it's media. So if you want to make some changes to that, you're welcome to do that, but you only have the time in terms of what we can pay you for with what that pre-authorization form is what they're limiting us to for this next year. So
And that was changed from 44 hours to 24 hours.
yeah, depending on how many units we've asked you to do.
Okay, got it.
But I kind of started, I was looking at like second grade elementary, and I basically just went on Art of Ed, looked at different, like the different lessons, and started kind of just like sticking them in so that there's, you know, kind of where would this fit? Where is this example? And then so that I could then go back and like actually download those things, link it, but you'll want to add those links. You'll want to add them to SharePoint, add the link to the scope and sequence so that, and those links, let's see. So if you're pulling a link, you basically copy link is where you're getting that from. And so then when people click on it, they're going to get that document. So anything you put within these folders, whether it's an Art of Ed resource, as long as you're copying the link here, it'll stay here forever. You add it to the scope and sequence, then you download that new version of the scope and sequence, and everything should stay connected to the Fort Worth ISD site.
Can you do one?
I
have stuff in the 6th grade, or if you have your
do
second
one.
grade.
What do you mean? Like
Just like upload and show us how to do like a link. If like, so like, you know how I told you I did those, I downloaded some lesson plans and resources.
all right. Do you have them in 6th grade?
They are in 2023 curriculum writing. I put them in I was just trying to get them over to our area real quick while I was talking to you. So it's visual art curriculum, and then it's 23-24 curriculum.
Okay. You put them in here?
Yes. And then that very top folder.
So these are like these are possible things.
So those are all the resources for the lessons. Like if you click in the lesson, those are all possible resources that they could use. So I don't know.
Okay, so we'd still want you to actually you downloaded the lessons too, right?
Yeah, so the lessons are downloaded.
Okay, so let's use a lesson. So like,
Okay.
say you decide you're going to use cartoon characters. So I am going to download. So then when I come back here, so middle school art 1, did you say this was for lesson 1?
It's for unit 1. Unit 1 drawing.
Okay. So maybe we just make a new folder for unit 1 resources. Then I'm going to upload. I put in cartoon character. So then I can copy that link. All right, so this is where this editing comes into place. You want people in Fort Worth ISD. Only people with existing access can edit it. You don't want just like anyone to be able to edit
Okay.
that. So you're gonna copy that. And then I'm gonna go back to the scope and sequence.
Number. Oh, right there. Oh, not a folder. It's just a,
It's just a file.
yeah, so it's the set go up. It's the very first, it's underneath. Okay, two more down, right there. Is that not it? Unit guide? Or we want scope and sequence, right?
We want the scope and sequence. Oh, probably updates from 2021. Where's the scope and sequence? Did you update this or where did we?
I haven't done it. No, I don't update, you know me. I mean, it's in the thing when I go to the curriculum, because that's where I got the information from.
Yeah. Just don't know where they put it. Art one. Where did the scope and sequence go?
Can you search it up in the library?
I don't know what the title will be.
Would it be art one
Unless
MF
we put, oh, you know what we did? We put all of the scope and sequences in
in
one.
one? Okay,
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to go back to what we've done like years ago. Sorry for that, guys. All right, so the middle school art one scope and sequence. You can see that there is a Word version of that. So you open the Word version. And I can go in here. And I'm gonna put AOE. Did I say optional resource? I think optional resources. So they don't think they have to like. And then what was that one called? What was the name of that lesson?
oh, it was drawing.
I know, but wasn't it oh, cartoon characters. So I put in cartoon characters. Did I spell that correctly?
Looks like it. I know cartoon always looks weird.
Then I'm gonna link. And I'm gonna insert that link that I saved previously. So then what I'd have to do, I would wait until you have all your updates made. You are going to, and you don't have to save this because it automatically saves. So you're gonna save as, you're gonna download as a PDF. Okay. And then I go back to the SharePoint and I'm gonna upload. Middle school. And it's going to ask me if I want to keep both or just replace. I want to replace. Now, the one thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to delete any old versions of these in your, wherever you download them to, because if you don't, it'll start putting a 1 and then it won't link the same way. So then that now is linked. I think when you go to the curriculum site and we go to if I click on this, that is already updated.
Oh, look
And
at you.
it takes us to the site. Ta-da! It's like magic. All right, questions so far?
I have one. So if I have you know how I have those lessons in a folder and then I have all the resources for all the lessons, should I just make another folder that says resources for lessons? Or do you just want me to put all that in one folder? And so it can just be resources and they can click on lessons. Would that be easier?
I would do it by unit. So like if you
Yeah, but I just
looked
meant
through
like,
it and
yeah,
you're like, okay, these ones will fit with here, rather than them have to look through it.
yeah.
Like, I think like arrange it by unit and just put them all in that folder.
And just have one folder instead of doing like the cartoon, just have one folder and then all those other things will be in that folder.
I would have a unit 1 resources
Yeah,
folder.
yeah,
a
just
unit
in
2
the-
resor- Yeah, and just
right.
have all the unit resources
All that information. Okay.
in one. But if you have a better way that you want to organize within SharePoint, do whatever works best for you. But then those things get automatically updated. But some of them, like kindergarten, I don't think we never put it in the regular, like this new scope and sequence format.
It's not, yeah, only the very first one is linked already.
Okay, so that one's gonna be a little bit more work. So you might only be able to like do like one example lesson for each. And because you are limited on how much time you can spend on it. You do need to clock in and kind of keep track of your time so that we don't go over. And can they clock in at home? Do we know that, Wendy?
We cannot.
I don't know how they clock in. You
No.
can?
Mm.
Oh,
We cannot clock in at home because you have to be on campus. They have location setting.
Yeah, it's geotagged to any district building.
So usually whenever we get overtime, but we're not on campus, we submit the request to our like time manager at school and she puts it in for us. And we just tell her how much we worked.
Okay, let me see if there's, because in our department, they aren't letting us do any time cards. It has to be like a clock in thing. So let me see if there's a way that you guys can do this from home or I don't want you to have to come up here to work.
Unless there's like a special thing or like maybe they can change the setting just for us.
Yeah, I mean, during the school year, you can just clock in the like after school hours if you're still working on stuff, but let me look
So we
up.
don't have to worry about clocking out.
How do we adjust that?
You have to reject it. So like if you clock in and then you never clock out or you forget to clock out through Kronos, you have to reject it and then say the time that you actually like left. And then the person who does that for your campus has to change it. And then you have to approve it.
Is the TLC going to be open over the summer? Because I might go up there and work.
Yes, they are open over the summer. Now, they're
Oh.
not open Fridays. We're only Monday through Thursday and no Juneteenth. All right, I will get more information on like the clocking in process and get that to you guys ASAP. But do you have any questions on the actual work?
Did
Can
you
I-
say,
Can I summarize my understanding?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so we're going to find the scope and sequence and then make sure that the resources from Art of Ed are linked for each unit.
Now,
And
right now, nothing from Art of Ed is linked. So
Okay.
you're actually going to Art of Ed and deciding what should be linked.
so we'll look at the scope and sequence and the unit plan that's currently there.
Yes.
Go to Art of Ed, find appropriate resources, download them to our computer, and then upload them to SharePoint and also Google Drive. Or only SharePoint.
We have a Google Drive that you can add them to, but for this purpose, you just need to add them to SharePoint. Deborah's, the class that she's teaching, teachers are going to be adding resources. So that's another place where if you want to wait a little bit and see what they come up with, that's a way to save time because they're creating, like they're finding units that work with it. And so if you pause just a little bit, I bet you some of them will have already started some of the work of this. And so you can look in that resource too. But
Okay.
and that's going to get started not next week, but the following week.
Okay, cool.
So-
And I think I signed up for one of yours, Deborah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
but-
we asked everyone to participate in that one, because basically you're planning your units for the year and getting flex credit at the same time. And then you're kind of starting your year then ready to go.
Two
So-
birds, one stone. Love it.
Yeah.
I should see if I can get my department to sign up for the same time that I'm going, so we can plan together.
Yeah, that would be good.
I need to talk to them about that today. Put it on my mind.
Is Wendy doing the instructional calendar? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So they took that, they basically said, we're not paying people to do that. Wendy's here till, I don't know, you're here till the 12th, I think. And so they're like, have her do it during that time. So now the problem with the instructional calendars is that they kind of are meaningless in terms of art, because if you use a different size paper, it's a different, it'll take longer or less time, or, so in terms of keeping teachers to a set time, I just don't agree with in art. I can see if you're teaching math and you want them on the same schedule, no matter where you move, but we just have to do the calendar because they tell us we have to do the calendar. So.
Okay, so do we need to add in the dates at the top of the units? There's that space.
With that, I would say, what, I don't know where Wendy just went. I think we put in there, we put in something like,
I remember when I was doing it a while ago, there were dates, but it was just whatever dates were listed before, or it was like a month range, like between.
I
this-
think we pretty much just kind of left the same dates, and then in parentheses put, like something like, visual arts department allows flexibility in the timing of lesson plans or lessons or unit length. And so like, just leave the dates that are in there, except change the year. And then just put a disclaimer in there that the visual arts department allows for flexibility in the timing of lessons, something like that. So that principals don't hold teachers to that set schedule. Because, and really, out of all the time I've been here, I've really only had one principal that was like, they should be on this schedule and I'm like, not really. So, but they want all of academics to look the same. And so then we have to do what they do, but it doesn't work for us. So that's that. All right. Did you get to finish your summary, Sydney?
Yes, that is
Okay.
everything that we're doing pretty much.
All right. And so I am figuring out how you guys can clock in and if you have to be on a campus to do so, and then and if you have to clock out. And you have to transfer it. I'll need the transfer code.
And we have to have a location code and you have to approve your time card.
We have to approve the time card every.
Yeah, you have to approve the time card, and then I don't know if they go to me because it's actually coming out of like academics money, like they have curriculum writing money. So I need to find out like who's the approver.
I think that we have to approve it, but
Yeah,
I think
you have to approve it.
Yeah.
And and then whoever that next, so like, for example, like Ashley, I have to approve her time card every week. Jamie's, I had to do the same. But I just don't know who that will be in terms of, because it's not coming out of the visual arts department budget. It comes out of academics curriculums budget. So
interesting.
yeah, because I think, yeah, I'll just have to ask. So we'll figure that part out.
Cool.
But do you have an understanding of kind of what the task is? And I really don't want you to do work outside of the hours that we're paying you. And so really just kind of budget your time on those so that
I use an
You're not-
app to track my time when I do design work.
Okay,
I could share the app with y'all if you want, or you could just set a timer, either way.
so whatever works for you guys, but I appreciate you being willing to help. I know that I have a hard time with the curriculum stuff just because I don't know that it's the best format, but we have to kind of just do what they ask us to do. So that's why I've kind of just put it aside for the last year. So sorry, but I think having those Art of Ed resources, especially if they're not able to keep it the following year, that would be really fabulous, especially for our new teachers to have those like ready to go links. So, and we've been able to retain a whole lot more teachers this year than we have in past years. So I think it's helping. Especially for our new babies who are right out of school and everything's overwhelming. Those Art of Ed lessons really help them to just, here's exactly what I can do. So not that we want them to do that forever, but it's a really great start for our new ones. Questions, concerns?
I feel like I'll have more questions once I get started. And I
Okay,
probably won't get started like right away because I want to wait and see a little bit on what Deborah's people make up. But when I do have those questions, I'll reach out. Thank you.
right. And so there's a bunch of them doing the class, you know, I guess it's the second week of June. And then we skip a week and then it's like the fourth week of June. And then we don't have any more in July. So by the end of June, all the work that's been done is probably, that's all that's going to be in there for now. And so if you do want to wait just a little bit to kind of see what they have, that'll help streamline some of it. But if some of your courses don't have a scope and sequence, you probably want to jump in and start putting that in the format that they want.
Okay, got it.
That makes sense?
So, when is the first due date that we have?
It's in July. Let me look real quick.
Like July 21st, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's on that tracking calendar and the project management. So yeah, the first one is July 21st. And it's just the first unit. And like, for example, if you don't have, and they want the scope and sequence on there, but if you are, like, say you've only added resources for like unit 1, you can still count that your scope and sequence is updated, but you'll just re-upload that every time you add more to it, if that makes sense. So you have to have a scope and sequence up by August 21st, but it doesn't necessarily have to have all of those resources on there yet. Like right now, our Art 1 for middle school only has that first unit on there. That would be sufficient for updates for that. But the unit should have the updates in it too. So the unit 1 should be on there. And I'm not sure how many units are in the first 6 weeks. You kind of have to make a guess. But and then I'm here, yeah, like Mondays through Thursdays. I think we're working like 7 to 5:30. And I'm gone like 2 weeks of the summer and that's it. So I'll be around. So if you have
Are you
questions.
gonna send me the sign-ins for classes?
Yeah, I usually wait until closer to when you have them because people will sign up late. But
Yeah.
if I don't the day before, text me or call me and I'll get that to you. I should put alarms on my phones, but you know, doesn't always happen. All right, but I really appreciate you ladies helping, and feel free to reach out to each other too, to use as resources. You're probably gonna become more of an expert in doing this than I am, just because I don't do it a lot, so.
Yeah, we'll reach out to each other. We already have each other's numbers, so we're good.
Excellent. All right, well, thanks so much and enjoy your summer. And I'll see some of you pretty soon, like doing the flex classes, so. All right.
Right,
Well, take
thank
care.
you. Bye,
Oh, and
everyone.
I'll put a link to this video in that visual arts curriculum 2023-24, and I'll put it on YouTube, and then there'll be like a video link for reminding us. Not that it's a fabulous video for but it's just in
I'm
case.
Watch it for sure, just for fun.
Yeah. If you're really bored. All right. Take care. Have a great summer.